know it's a little late, but Happy New Year, everyone, and welcome back, or simply welcome to the Think Tank. I'm going to go ahead and tell you what my New Year resolution is. To keep it up with this blog. I know I've done not a lot of writing, but a decent amount. You guys have kept up and given me some great feedback, and but I just can't seem to stay in the game. And hopefully this year we can change all that. This year is going to be a little different. Instead of reading my run-on sentences and my crazy explanations on things, we're going to do video blogs, and we're going to have a more interactive role. I want you guys to email me, and I want to see comments, and I want to get my peers and anyone that reads this blog to wake up and to try to change this country and take it back to where it used to be. Since this is the first video blog, I'm going to make this one short. And I know you guys have a very tight schedule, and time isn't something you guys just give away freely. And if you guys are watching this, I want to thank you for taking the time to read this blog before and now watch this blog. I'm going to try not to waste your time. I'll try to bring things that I think that my generation doesn't know, or if they do know, maybe they can help spread the word and try to get this country back on track. There's so many things going on right now. New members of Congress getting sworn in, reaching the over $14 trillion debt now. We're reaching the debt ceiling. But this year is going to be crucial for America. I mean, every year is crucial to America, but I think this one is going to be a pivotal one. The economy, they say, is coming back. We'll have plenty of discussion on what I think is really happening. But to start out this new year, got some videos for you to watch. Miss Pelosi gave up her gavel today to Republican Boehner. But before she did, she gave us a little reminder of why she gave up that gavel. Let's hear what she has to say.
I just may say on the health reform bill, if everyone in America was very, very pleased with his or her health insurance and had no complaints and had access to quality, affordable health care in our country, it still would have been necessary for us to pass the health care reform bill.
All right, I know what you're saying. Drake, why don't you just throw that in the archives of crazy, wacko stuff this lady has said over her House career. The reason I wanted to show you that one was because it was a new video of something crazy she said, so it was one you hadn't seen it many times. And two, it just shows even at the end of her time as a majority speaker, House Speaker, she's still in the disillusioned la-la land. She still doesn't understand people, American people. She's in her San Francisco bubble of nice breezes and Golden Gate Bridge. Okay. The other thing I wanted to talk to you guys about real quick is this debt ceiling issue. I know a lot of people are torn. Should we raise it? Should we keep it the same? If we don't raise it, we're going to default. That means America is going to, everyone's going to lose trust in America. But, I mean, it's crazy, but don't you have to draw a line somewhere? I mean, this seems like an easy line to draw, too, because we're reaching it, and why don't we just stop there? Why don't we just stop? Now would be a great time to cut money, enough money to not reach that debt ceiling. Is that a crazy idea? Is that thinking out of the box? That's not even thinking out of the box. It just is common sense, isn't it? In a recent interview, Goldsby was asked, well, what would happen if they didn't raise the debt ceiling? Watch.
This point coming up potentially, and that is the nation is only about $400 billion away right now from reaching the $14.3 trillion debt ceiling, meaning this spring Congress will have to vote on whether or not to lift that ceiling. So what economic effects would people see immediately if Congress does not raise the debt ceiling, and does the administration have a contingency plan if that happens?
If we hit the debt ceiling, that's essentially defaulting on our obligations. which is totally unprecedented in American history, the impact on the economy would be catastrophic. I mean, that would be a worse financial and economic crisis than anything we saw in 2008. If we get to the point where you've damaged the full faith and credit of the United States, that would be the first default in history caused purely by insanity.
Now, Goolsbee is right. A catastrophe it would be if we couldn't pay back what we borrowed. But his words are very peculiar in that interview. There's two things that I took out of there and investigated a little bit and found out some interesting information. The first one was he talks about not even a debt, but just an obligation. America not upholding its obligations is unprecedented. Now, that is not true, but we'll get to that in a second. The second one was this will be the only instance where U.S. government will default purely by insanity. Now, those two things are, equate to this one instance I'm going to talk about here in a second. And it was in 1933, first day of Franklin Roosevelt's presidency, people who bought war bonds to support World War I were promised to be repaid in gold. And when Roosevelt took over, they pretty much said, you know what, we're going to change that contract, and we're going to pay you guys solely in worthless money backed by the Depression. So basically worth nothing. People were outraged. This was an obligation defaulted. This was a debt defaulted by the U.S. government to the American people. So this is not unprecedented. First of all, Mr. Goolsbee, sir, maybe you should do a little history research. And second, if we did default, we have so much time. If they knew this was going to happen, all of a sudden, is this a surprise? Oh no, we're reaching our limit. We're going to default. What are we going to do? We didn't see it. It just popped out of nowhere. It's bogus. It's bogus. I've taken enough of your time, but email me questions, your comments. I will read emails you guys send me on this blog at the end of each segment. And if you guys want to get your name out there, I'll read who wrote it. But send me your comments. Like I said, I'm going to get involved. And thanks, guys, for watching. And I'll talk to you guys soon.